talk about Watson. Right. There's no better way to endear yourself to new teammates than saying, guys, we're loading a private jet and we're going to the Bahamas. And that's exactly what Deshaun Watson has done with the offense, DeQuell. He's taken the offense to the Bahamas, and here's a look at the private jet that he.
What's with this video, by the way?
That's one of those TikTok videos called.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's
TikTok
annoying.
Yo-yo.
I'm getting car sick.
Back and forth.
Boomerang.
Boomerang. Yeah, the young kids are doing it. DeQuell. It makes me.
The young kids got to smarten up. Stop doing
it makes me dizzy.
Well, that's how they do it.
So anyhow,
they
the
kicking
one
it
bad
down.
thing. Look at the weather. It's always nice in the Bahamas. It's terrible there. So it's not exactly what they bargained for, but. He's got videos of them at the resort, and then also he posted a video yesterday of him nailing like a 22-foot birdie putt, which was pretty impressive. Here it is. I hope his touch is this good with the football in Cleveland. Just watch this thing.
I mean, listen. Damn. Oh my goodness, that's impressive. That's impressive. Oh
that
my
is
goodness,
impressive.
get hype about it. Yeah.
DeQuell, I want to know if that was the first take or if he putted that ball 5 times before he got one to go.
Oh, he probably, he definitely. The fact that it's on video, he definitely probably at least 3 takes. At least 3 takes.
What do you make of this?
Because that would have been more excitement.
Yeah. What do you make of the team bonding and that whole thing? I mean, obviously, it's always a great idea. A lot of times, quarterbacks will take their linemen out for a steak dinner. They'll get them a Rolex if they, lead the league and run block or whatever. But what do you make of this?
Man, normally you think about a green egg or a ceramic grill or something like that. Like you said, watching. You know what I mean? Like
the man is cooking right there. The man is cooking right
Bahamas?
there.
That was pretty.
Damn, I wish I played offense right now.
Yeah, DeQuell, it's got that guaranteed money.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true. So, I mean, I love it. It looks like they're there just having fun. I don't know if there's any football, going on. But, listen, if you can afford to do that, then what that tells me is Deshaun is becoming that leader. Yeah. He knows he's going to probably have to deal with some suspension down the road. But he's saying, hey, look at me. This is what I'm willing to do for guys that I don't really know that well. But I'm showing you guys I'm willing to build this team camaraderie. And, listen, his play is going to sell guys on just how, in he is with the team and what have you. But I love this move. But, man, that's impressive. That's impressive.
I was going to say, DeQuell, what is the most you've seen anybody spend on a gift for a player? Like quarterback to offensive lineman, running back to O-line. What's the craziest thing you saw? Like, oh, my, I can't believe he spent that.
That's a great question. Damn, I got to think about this. That's a great question. So I've seen the Rolexes, but grills, the ceramic grills, man.
Has anybody gotten a car?
You know what? I think it was it Braylon, I believe? Braylon, when I was there, I think he chartered a private plane, I believe, and he sent all his receivers to like Vegas or something like that, and they had a ball. But nothing as far as a gift. Guys are pretty even kid when it comes to gift. Like the Rolexes is like at the very top. Like I'm not buying anyone Rolex. The D lineman, no. The D lineman, I bought them. Take them out to dinner and all that good stuff. But Rolex,
I think the most stunning thing is that Nick Chubb has an Instagram, right? Like because Nick Chubb put out a picture.
He's like the quietest guy in the world. You would never expect.
I thought he didn't care about anything besides lifting weights and playing football.
You care about a free trip. You're going to care about a free trip.
That's what moves me. So, DeQuell,
most guys don't ride privately.
Miles Garrett has said that he wants to do something similar with the defense.
Yeah.
And so now this is going to become a big thing because A.J. Green sends this out. He says, y'all on the clock now, talking to Miles Garrett and Denzel Ward. They're the money bags on the defense.
You got to take them to Hawaii. So go to Hawaii.
Yeah, all eyes are on you guys now.
Yeah, Miles Garrett isn't doing that. He's smart enough to we can have a lot more fun and with a lot less money to get on a private plane and going anywhere.
Meet me in Lake Erie.
Well, see, the thing is, though, like, you do have Miles and Denzel.
Co-signed. They threw him under as an underwriter. They said, Denzel, we know you got the bag. You just got it. We heard it.
But
Hawaii is the only thing that tops the Bahamas, I think.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's funny because the basketball players don't. I've never seen this type of gift giving. What are you talking about?
Jordan wasn't buying your stuff.
Man, Jordan invites you up to the hotel room, give you a steak in the room, but then he charging the bulls, bro.
So I'm waiting on someone from. I'm waiting on the receiver from the Kansas City Chiefs to put Patrick Mahomes on the clock. What would that look like?
Yeah, no good, right?
Deshaun, he set the bar pretty high, so I'm sure a lot of guys are like, "Hey, man, Pat, what's going on, brother?
That's
where we going?"
Side eye in the league, like what you gonna
every
do?
offense in the NFL is now looking at their quarterback like what you got.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Denzel,
They're the money bags.
Let's talk about linebackers. This Browns, we spent so much time talking about Baker and Deshaun and the wideouts and the skills guys. While we have you here, sort of assess the Browns' linebacking talent, where they are within the division and within the NFL. Where would you rank that core of players right now?
I think inexperience that's the word that jumps out to me when you look at, Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah, as I said the last show I was on, I think he's going to be if you give him a definitive role, I think he can be one of the best linebackers in the league with his talent. He's just got to, carve out a role specifically for him. And you add Walker, who his leadership. I hosted a podcast for the Colts last year, and when he left the year before, everyone was up in arms about his leadership, and they wanted him to stay. So I think with his leadership and his tutelage and bringing Jeremiah along, I think this crew could – listen, you don't have to do much. When you're playing behind a defensive line like Myles Garrett and the other guy, you just can't screw it up, But I do like this crew. And I wish when I look at what they have up front, man, it's a godsend to play with guys like Myles Garrett and, some guys they had last year that are no longer there. But I think in terms of the linebackers, they're inexperienced, man. And the more experience they have, the better they're going to be. And Jeremiah, I'm telling you, he's going to be one of those guys that he's going to surprise a lot of people every snap he takes and every game he plays.
You talk about some of those guys.
I really enjoy it.
You talk about some of those guys being gone. Obviously, Jadeveon Clowney's one of those guys we're talking about. It seems like he's always the best player, the best free agent remaining when we get to the summer or almost the summer. I don't know if they're going to bring him back, but you look at that Browns D-line right now. Obviously, they got some rookies, you got some young guys who've drafted the last few years. But that's, to me, the biggest concern of this team is the D-line at the moment, because outside of Myles, you really got nobody proven on that D-line. I think that's a bit of a, again, maybe these young guys will pan out, but in terms of proven talent on the D-line, you got one player across the board.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what Andrew Berry is doing, he's building from the draft. And I think all the really good teams, when you look around the league, that their talent is homegrown. And right now, hopefully some of these draft picks pan out. I think about was it Perion Winfrey, I believe, is his name, D tackle. I'm really looking forward to see what he can add and what value he can bring to this D line. And I think Andrew Berry has a plan. And right now it looks bleak. It looks inexperienced. You don't have other than Myles Garrett, you don't have guys with household names that jump off the board for you. But I do think, given time, given the way he's structuring this team, they're going to be decent. And again, you look at Denzel, you look at the back end, and you look at the offense. If Deshaun Watson comes back, this team is going to be able to put up a lot of points, and that'll be able to cover up some of the inconsistencies that you have on the defensive side of the ball. Because the less plays you have, the more the less opportunities you have to give up big plays and obviously play better defense. But again, you're right. There isn't many guys that jump out, but I think given time, this team will be solid. The D-line could be solid for you.
DeQuell, when you were talking, we ran a piece of video in of Winfrey, and G. Bush and I looked at each other after the play. I hadn't seen it until we just rolled it in. He comes from behind. Now, obviously, it was just the mini camp here. It was just a drill, but he comes from behind. And I don't think I've ever seen a player punch out a ball from a running back like we just saw with Winfree.
In minicamp.
I know. Watch the screen. It's coming up here in a second.
Yeah.
We looked at each other and we're like, what the hell?
I've done turnover circuit, but I've never been that violent.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, let me
Bam!
see. Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my gosh. That's something that they're going to work all day, every day. And listen, I know what type of guy. He's that high motor guy that you're going to get annoyed with if you're on the other side of the ball. But, hey, it's great that he's on that he's with us and he's on the defense. So you need nasty guys like that that play with an attitude.
I like that.
Speaking of nasty guys and guys that you said they're going to get annoyed with him, which could lead to a fight. We know in training camp there's fights all the time. I feel like coaches have varying opinions on this, whether it could be a team builder or a pain.
They only say that to the media. They love it. They love that shit.
Okay, that's nonsense.
They only say that to the media because I remember my first couple years in the league, I was a hothead because I felt like I was undersized and I had to prove to guys that I was tough. Yeah. And I started a lot of scuffles, and it was partly my fault. But coaches would obviously say the right things in front of the team, but you would always get walking in the hallways and, hey, DQ, I like what you did, man. I love the attitude. Keep it up. They secretly love it. They secretly love it. They just won't, they have to present a certain way, but they love guys that play with an attitude. Hell, I loved it. I loved the guy that played with a little chip on his shoulder. That let me know he loved the game and he played with some passion.
It sets a tone, too, I think.
No doubt.
I
love it when it happens.
Yeah.
DeQuell, you played under a number of coaches. How many total coaches did you play under?
See, that's a trick question. You see, how many defensive coordinators, how many head coaches, how many
interim coaches?
I can't even. So head coaches?
Probably. Well, I'll give you this. Who had of the coaches you had the worst training camp? Like that training camp was just ridiculous.
Easy. Eric Mangini.
I knew he was gonna say
Eric Mangini. Listen, man. So to start training camp practice, offense, you're over here. Defense, you're over here. And we would be probably 15 to 20 yards apart from each other, and we had a live tackling drill.
Ooh.
Defensive linemen are going against receivers, and we would have to live tackle. Jeez. And I did this crap like 3 straight days, and the 4th day I'm like, man, I'm not doing this. And like, what are we doing here? We're going to get someone hurt. But he had the toughest training camp out of any other coach I've ever played for. Not only was it physically demanding, but the mental side of it. Gee, let me tell you another story really quick. So let's say we're in the team meeting room, and Eric Mangini had this thing where he would post sayings all across the facility on the scoreboard outside, and he would ask you after you've spent a long day in training camp, you're trying to figure out, okay, you're trying to relearn the scheme and all these different things. He'll call on you. Gee, stand up. I want you to name all the receivers and their coaches and what high school they went to of your own teammates. Yeah. Oh my God. And then you had to memorize quotes around the building. I'm like, we're focused on the wrong crap right now. We need to be focused on football. But it drove us crazy, man. And I ended up running into him a few years ago at a Super Bowl, and I had to tell him, I was like, listen, dude, what you did, I'm sure you have a lot of regrets because no one has ever, any other coach I played for has never been that demanding about things outside of football.
What did he say?
Crazy. It was mind-blowing.
What did he say to that?
Oh, he was like, listen, DQ, you're not the first player to tell me, but if I had another chance to be a head coach, I would definitely do a lot of things differently.
Wow.
And we saw eye to eye.
I worked with Eric for probably 7 or 8 years at ESPN, and people ask me this all the time. Of all the guys you worked with, players or coaches, who was the one that impressed you the most with his knowledge of the game? And that's the easiest question that I've ever been asked in terms of my former coworkers. Eric Mangini's comprehension of the game of football is Mensa-like. It's genius-like. It really is.
Yes.
He had such a good ability, and this is why he's so good in TV. He could, DeQuell, break down any play
mind-blowing
with X's and O's on the spot, not even have it, because most of the guys want to see in advance what you're going to do. Eric would say, what are we doing in today's segment? I would say 4 plays. He's like, okay, do you want to look at them? Don't need to. He would look at them in real time, and he would tell you what everybody was supposed to be doing, what guys did their job, what guys didn't. And I love Eric. First of all, let me get that out of the way. We are friends.
Same.
I always felt sorry for him because I think he got caught up in trying to be Bill Part 2.
Don't all those guys do that?
They do, and they've all made mistakes when they get their jobs, when they get their chances to be head coaches. Instead of being genuine to who they are, they try to imitate Bill Belichick, who in part was kind of trying to imitate Bill Parcells.
Right.
And I think if Eric did have another chance to do it all over again, DeQuell, to your point, he would be a completely different guy. But the league, unfortunately, has moved on from him. But in terms of knowledge, he just blew me away. He was so smart.
Oh, same here. He was the smartest. I learned a lot of I got my PhD in football because of Eric Mangini. The way he would compartmentalize the game from a defensive standpoint, it was in quarters. And like what type of plays will be run from the goal line to the 10-yard line, from the 10-yard line to the 50-yard line, from the 50. I mean, he broke them all down. And he was a pest at times, but his football IQ, the things I learned from Eric Mangini followed me with the next coach, the next defensive coordinator, the next linebacker coach, and I was basically paying it forward. But he was the smartest guy, smartest coach I've ever played for. And I was playing football before Eric Mangini arrived in Cleveland. I was playing the game above the shoulders when he left. And it was a credit to him, no doubt.
That's great.
That was great. Well, I'm going to end this one. I love the fact that you just say you got a PhD in football, because you've been around the game and you could talk it at such a high level. What is your philosophy on watching football games that you're interested in with regular civilians? I found it to be miserable. Guys are talking about, I was holding on that play. Guys trying to call out every play, and then you get somebody that, God forbid, want to grab the remote control. In between, bro, what you doing, dog? Put the remote down. That's why I can't go nowhere. And will you watch a game with regular people and they know who you are?
Gee, that's a great question, man. So I can't watch it. I can't. My wife actually knows a lot more about football than a lot of people that claim they know a lot about football. And because I'm waking her up at 2, 3 in the morning after a game, looking at a D lineman. Look at this crap, man. Can you believe he jumped? She knows all of it. She knows all of the terminology.
That's how you know you got the right woman right there, brother.
Oh, right.
If you can wake her up at 3 o'clock in the morning and show her that, you did well. We're going to do mailbag right now. Mikey McNuggets, our producer, has some mail. Are they questions or comments you want to read?
No, they're questions.
Okay, fire away. Fire away to DeQuell.
DeQuell, we got 4 for you today. First one comes from @hamp_dechamp15. If the Browns were playing in the Super Bowl, would you rather be at the game or watching with friends and family in Cleveland?
Oh man, that's a party if I was in Cleveland watching it. But I think I would have to be at the game. I would need to be at the game to actually see the the orange helmets, the brown uniforms, the team at the Super Bowl. That would be a thrill of a lifetime, man. It really would. I would feel like I was playing the game and I was actually playing for a Super Bowl. Yeah, it's giving me chills right now.
G. Bush, we looked at each other. He's got chicken skin. I've got it.
What about you guys? Because as a player, I get it, but it's football more than any other sport is much better on TV.
I want to be at the game with my son.
I have to be there.
I have to have a headset.
That's gonna be the biggest Super Bowl ever.
Yeah,
they gonna come from everywhere.
I'll be a nervous wreck. I'll be a wreck.
I would have to have the headset listening to the game as I'm I'm there in the stadium to get the full effect.
God, just imagining the smoke and the Browns running onto the field at the Super Bowl. I get goosebumps.
Thank God they're getting rid of Baker. Now they have a chance.
Mikey, what's number 2?
Hey, this is another question from @hamp_dechamp15. After our conversation last week, DeQuell, neat or on the rocks?
Oh, it depends. But I'm a neat guy. Yeah, because if you're drinking some Balvenie 21 or Balvenie 14, you want to get the full effect of it. I'm not diluting that.
Don't water it down.
No, not at all.
That's too expensive and too good a stuff.
Gee, you and I have no clue what he's talking about.
No, listen.
No clue. We're not playing that.
I'm assuming it's like King Louis the 18th or something.
I don't know.
The $1,000 a shot.
Well, you know neat or on the rocks, right?
Well, I know neat or on the rocks.
Okay, so his concept is it's the only concept. You don't want to put anything that's an expensive liquid.
You don't wanna...
When you put chunks of ice in it, it's going to melt. It's going to dilute the flavor, the power, everything else.
That's DMV in the building. That's what it is. DMV in the building.
The most I would do is put a drop of water if I want to dilute it a little bit. But other than that, cocktails go with ice. But
that's
the
very
expensive
well said.
whiskeys, let's go neat.
Yeah, very well said.
All right, number 3, DeQuell. This is from Mr. Wings 20. If you couldn't play football, which sport would you have tried to play?
Oh, good one.
Oh, basketball. Tried. I could hoop, man, back in the day. Basketball for sure.
Baller.
If you would have asked me, so I'm just over 6 feet, right? And I've been this size since probably the 8th grade. So I thought I was going to be at least 6'4", 6'5". I have aunts on my dad's side of the family who are 6'2", 6'3". I have a cousin that played international league basketball. He's 6'9". So basketball was my first love. I loved it. Always play it, still do. But if you would have asked me if I was going to play professional sports as a young kid, would I play football? I would have just rolled my eyes at you. Like, there's no way. I'm hooping. I'm a hooper, man.
Did you
Love
play
it.
in high school?
I did.
Did you play anything else? Did you play football, basketball in a third sport, or just football, basketball in high school?
So football, basketball. I ran track. I was no good because I was slow than everyone else. And a friend of mine in high school tried to convince me to do diving. I'm like, dude, I'm 210 pounds. I'm not diving in a damn pool, man. That's just not a good look for me.
He was like, let me see the uniform. Nah, I'm cool.
By the way, the school
I'm
you
straight.
must have gone to a fancy high school. We didn't have no diving in my school.
Well, in Florida, everyone has a pool.
Yeah, all right,
so,
that's true. Yeah.
All right, we got one more question?
Yeah, we got one more. And also, DeQuell, when you come to Cleveland, 3-point shootout, me versus you is on. I'm just going to challenge everyone.
Mikey
Oh.
McNuggets was a 3-point shooter
absolutely.
in college.
Oh.
Oh, it's easy money,
where'd you
DeQuell.
play?
I played Emerson College.
Division
D3.
III.
Okay.
I don't dribble. I just shoot.
Listen.
He's
Oh,
sixth
no.
all time.
Okay. I can't
I'll
wait.
under-
I can't
hey,
wait. I'm up for that challenge.
DeQuell, he got a start on senior night, and he made,
Yeah.
how many threes did you make? 5 threes?
Urban Legend says 17. I'm not going to tell you it's less.
Okay.
Yeah,
he didn't make,
17?
he
Oh,
didn't
my
make
No,
God.
it was
17.
5. It was 5.
He made 5.
That's
Mine,
not even
it
a
was
believable
17.
line.
Yeah, right. You got to keep the number in the
Yeah,
realm
like
of
say
believability.
10.
It was mine.
Right,
It was
right.
17. It felt like 17.
But he
Hey,
can't
we gotta
shoot.
check
We'll put
and
some
see
truffle
whether or not it was
potatoes on
5.
it, DeQuell. Truffle potatoes for the winner. Done.
I like that.
I'm game. Count me
All
in.
right. Last
Got
question,
me
though,
in.
for real. This comes from, I'm not going to read the handle, but how hard would you want to hit Chase Claypool if he still played for the Browns?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, listen. Oh, man. I can't even find the words to tell you how bad I would want to knock his you-know-what out. Now we got to take care of our own, man. Simple as that. Simple as that. When you suit up, you got to take care of your own.
Well said. Very well said.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, DeQuell, awesome stuff as always.
Thanks, DeQuell.
We'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining us on the Ultimate
All right.
Cleveland Sports Show. And neat is the way it is.
That's right.
Hey, look behind me, man.
I see it. I saw it.
It's ready to have it neat
There we
right
go.
now.
There you go, right there.
Neat
That's
whiskey.
Right there.
That's the good stuff, too. All right,
It's
DeQuell,
happy hour
thanks.
somewhere.
Yeah, have a great
right,
weekend,
guys.
and we'll see you
Bye,
next
DeQuell.
week.